You hear it in the distance, that siren wail that just cuts through everything, the flashing lights that mean someone's life is on the line. And in that moment of pure terror, you do the only thing you can. You trust that help is on the way. But what you don't know, what they don't tell you, is that the help, it comes with a price that can destroy a life long after the emergency is over. Take a good look at this number, $4,827. And no, that's not a typo. This is a real bill that a real person got for an ambulance ride that lasted just a few minutes. That's the price of a decent used car. It's a down payment on a home. Or it's the cost to get you a few miles down the road when you thought you were dying. I mean, seriously, think about that question. Because this isn't just about one crazy bill. It's about a system that all of us are trapped inside. A system that has figured out how to turn the most vulnerable moment of your life into a moment of maximum profit. So how in the world did we get here? To really understand just how broken this is, we're going to look at two different emergencies, okay? One happens in the United States, the other in England. The medical situations are exactly the same. The financial outcomes, though, well, they're not even in the same universe. So let's start simple. A ground ambulance. You're having a heart attack. In America, before the wheels even start turning, you could be on the hook for over $2,000 instantly. Now, what about in England? Zero. Nothing. Not a single penny. You call, they come, they save your life. That's it. End of story. But that's just for a ride on the ground. It gets so much worse. Let's say you're in a bad car wreck out in the middle of nowhere. You need a helicopter. In the US, that flight could cost you $200,000. A bill that literally bankrupts families. A debt that will follow you for the rest of your life. And in England? You guessed it, still zero. Because in their system, they don't calculate the value of a human life by the mile. So why, right? How is this insane difference even possible? Well, this number is the dirty little secret. 4.7%. That is the tiny, tiny fraction of the total bill that ambulance companies ever see from uninsured patients, the folks who just can't pay. So to make up for that massive loss, they have to get that money from somewhere else. And guess who they come for? Yeah, they come for you. Look, you need to understand something right now. This is not an accident. It's not a mistake in the billing department. The insane price you are forced to pay for an ambulance is the result of a system that was deliberately designed to work this way. It's not broken. It's a trap. And you're the one who's supposed to pay to keep it going. So the question is, why? Why would anyone build a system that charges one person a fortune just to cover the costs of others? Well, the answer actually has a name. And once you hear it, believe me, you will never look at the American healthcare system the same way again. It's called cost shifting. And really, it's just a giant shell game. See, one person can't pay their bill, so the company takes that cost and they just tack it onto the next person's bill and the next, until they find someone whose insurance they can force to pay for all of it. So when you get that nearly $5,000 bill, what are you actually paying for? Because it's not just your ride. Oh no. You are paying for the people who can't pay their bills. You are paying to cover the massive gaps left by the government's underpayments from Medicare and Medicaid. And you are paying for all the hidden, bloated costs, the armies of billers, the marketing, the lawyers. If you have private insurance, you're not a patient. You're the piggy bank that keeps this whole broken thing from falling apart. But this isn't just about money and broken systems. It's about people. It's about the very real, devastating human price of a system that punishes you for the simple act of needing to be saved. This is the impossible choice millions of Americans are forced to make. Just imagine it for a second. It's 3 a.m. You wake up with this crushing pain in your chest. Is it just heartburn, or is it the same heart attack that killed your dad? You reach for the phone, and you stop. Your hand just hovers there while you start doing the math. Can we afford this? What if it turns out to be nothing? You are literally weighing the risk to your life against the risk to your entire financial future. That fear, it's as paralyzing as the medical emergency itself. And please, don't sit there thinking, well, I have good insurance, I'm safe. You're not. In fact, in this system, having good insurance just paints a giant target on your back. It signals to everyone that you're the one who can be squeezed. You're the one they can overcharge to cover everyone else's bills. You are the solution to their math problem. And here is the cruelest irony in all of this. The paramedics, the people in the back of that ambulance, they are heroes. They do their job perfectly. They save your life. And then A few weeks later, a single piece of paper arrives in your mailbox that can destroy it all over again. So you have to wonder, does it really have to be this way? Is this the only way to do it? The answer is no, not even close. Let's just go back across the Atlantic for a second and see how this problem that seems so impossible here was solved with shocking simplicity. In England, calling an ambulance is, well, it's just like calling the fire department. If your house is on fire, you call them. You don't ask for a price quote first, you just do it. If you're having a medical emergency, you call an ambulance. There's no financial calculation, there's no fear, it's a public service, period. Their entire National Health Service, the NHS, it's built on these three simple, powerful ideas: that healthcare should be for everyone, that it should be free when you need it, and that the care you get should be based on your clinical need, not on the size of your wallet. This isn't some radical fantasy. It's the foundation of their society. And here's the key. How do they pay for it? Simple. Everyone chips in a little bit through their taxes. It is a shared public good. This system is funded by everyone together, not by placing an impossible, crushing burden on the sick and the injured at the absolute worst moment of their lives. When you see how easily this is handled somewhere else, it forces you to turn around and ask a very, very uncomfortable question. A question we have to ask ourselves. Why do we in America accept this? We talk so much about freedom in this country. The freedom to succeed, the freedom to choose. But what about the freedom from fear? What about the freedom of knowing that one single accident won't wipe out everything you've ever worked for? In a country that calls itself the land of the free, why are so many of its people trapped by the price of their own rescue? This ambulance bill, it's just one scam. The system is filled with them. Hidden fees, insane charges, pricing traps designed to bleed people dry. So we want to hear from you. What other price scams are out there trapping ordinary Americans? Tell us in the comments. Let us know what we need to expose next.